Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Lena, this is Lena's Bookshelf, and this is the start of another reading vlog. So in this vlog, I'm going to be reading Mad Honey by Jodi Picoult, and I'm going to be buddy reading this with my friend Jessie from the channel Reading with Jess. I'll put all of her information in the cards down below. Definitely go check out her channel if you haven't already. She and I did a buddy read a couple of months back for The Four Winds by Kristen Hanna, and I ended up loving that book, and it definitely sparked an interest in Kristen Hanna, so I'm hoping that we have another winner. But I've already started this book, and I'm going to be continuing it tonight on Jessie's sprints. So all I know so far is that we're following a woman who's a beekeeper, and she's a single mom, and her son has a girlfriend who dies. That's how as far as I've gotten, and that's not a spoiler because that's in the synopsis. So the girlfriend has died, and that's all I know so far. So come along with me this week. We're going to be doing a lot of work, probably some cooking, and who knows, we'll try to get into something fun so that we have some good content, but definitely going to be continuing the book tonight on Jessie's reading sprints, and we're going to be talking about the book this week on Marco Polo, and I will update you when I know a little bit more about the book. Hello, so I am home from work and I wanted to update you on Mad Honey. I got home a couple minutes ago. Anybody else, like, first thing as soon as they get home, take off their work clothes and put on pajamas? Because that's totally me. I'm like, the bra's coming off, the work clothes are coming off, like big old t-shirt and shorts are going on, and I'm not leaving my house for the rest of the evening. I think I'm about 30% of the way through Mad Honey. I read a little bit last night before I fell asleep at like 6 o'clock at night. No, actually, I guess it was like 7. Yeah, about 7. And I Marco Polo'd Jessie this morning, and we were kind of talking about our thoughts on our way to work this morning. So basically, we know that Lily was sick at home, and we know that Asher went over there. And when Asher showed up at Lily's house, she was unconscious at the bottom of the stairs. But now there's the issue of her room was like, there was signs of a struggle in her room. But Asher's claiming he didn't go upstairs. She was already unconscious when she got there. So what we don't know is what happened in between being alive and talking to her mom and Asher getting there. Like, is he lying? Was somebody else there? Like, we are trying to figure out what happened. So we finally got to the courtroom scene, and I was telling Jessie this, but I don't really like the character of Asher. He is kind of a jerk when everybody's trying to help him, and he makes very rash decisions, and I don't know, it's like he says some things to Lily that are like borderline gaslighty, and he is under the impression that everybody has to have a dad. Like, he didn't have a dad, therefore he can't understand why Lily would not want to be in contact with her dad. He can't fathom at 18 years old why you wouldn't want to have a relationship with your dad. He doesn't understand that at his age that, you know, for some people, based on their circumstances and the things that they've been through, sometimes it's not always feasible to rebuild your relationship with a family member. Sometimes it is better for that person to cut ties with somebody in your family. Just because somebody's your family doesn't mean that they may not be toxic and dangerous to you. But of course he can't see that at 18 years old. And then, like he said one thing at one point, he and Lily were talking, and he has no contact with his dad. Well, his mom thinks he has no contact with his dad because she got a no contact order when they got divorced because he was physically abusive to her, to Olivia. Asher at one point says to Lily, like they're talking about it, and Lily says, you know, well, just make sure you're careful because of, you know, what your dad did to your mom. And he said, well, that's just her version of the story. And like he's alluded multiple times to like not even really believing that his dad was abusive towards his mom. And, you know, and it's just like, she has given up everything for you to keep you safe, and like literally her entire life is about you, and you think that she was just making all this up. So yeah, so not a huge fan of Asher. We just got to the courtroom scene and all the evidence is coming up, and I love Jodi Picoult's courtroom scenes. That's like my favorite part about her books. She does such a good job. Well, she used to be a lawyer, so I mean, it's understandable that she would do a good job with it, but I just love how she is able to explain things to you and create a courtroom atmosphere that is not boring at all and doesn't like make you feel like it's dumbed down, but also doesn't make you feel like an idiot, like you have no idea what's going on. She does a really good job of making it very understandable to like the common person. I always look forward to those scenes because they are like exciting. She makes courtroom scenes exciting. I also like that she's had a couple of little nods to some of her other books. Jordan, the lawyer, was the same lawyer from The Pact. So that's kind of cool that she uses like minor characters in that way, but it's not like it's a series in any way. You know, just little hints to other things. And if you hadn't read a bunch of her books, you probably wouldn't even know or notice that. But I do because I'm a huge fan. And I'm glad I'm enjoying this one more because the last book I read by Jodi Picoult was Wish You Were Here. And I really did not like that one. Like that might be my least favorite Jodi Picoult that I've ever read. So I'm glad this is going much better. So yeah, so I'm just going to be here just having a relaxing night at home. I'm going to do this laundry. I'm going to tidy up around the house, do a little bit of a house reset now that I'm feeling better and I have the energy after pneumonia to actually like clean and do stuff. So I'm trying to use the energy that I have when I have it and then take a break when the coughing fits start up. So that's what I plan on doing. I'm not sure if I'll get into anything else interesting tonight, but I know there's a bunch of reading sprints going on this week, so I might see if anybody's having reading sprints tonight and I might hop on those. So I'm just going to be here doing my thing, and I will be back when I have something more to update. Okay, so I've actually received a couple of comments and like questions about my Starbucks mug collection, so I wanted to give you a little tour of all of my Starbucks mugs. So here we have my coffee cart, which a lot of you have probably seen in vlogs, and I keep these 5 up here. These are the city mugs that I have. I'm pretty sure this is most of the city mugs that I have. So I have Pittsburgh, San Antonio, Niagara Falls, Vegas, and San Francisco. And I just keep these up here with my coffee cart and all of that. And then over here we have the mugs that you most commonly see in the back of my videos when I sit here at my couch. So this is the angle where I film most of my videos. So we have some state mugs here. We have Missouri, Pennsylvania, New Mexico, Florida, Arizona, Tennessee, Rhode Island, New York, South Carolina, Oklahoma, Kentucky, and Wisconsin there in the back. And then I have some fall decor around here, and then that is my name. That was from a wedding. It was like my nameplate at a wedding, and I thought it was cute, so I kept it. And here we have my Giver series, the whole 4-part series of The Giver. I have that there. And yeah, so that's those mugs. And then over here we have some overflow. We have my panic attacks workbook that I work on, and a cozy minimalist book. And then this is a bouquet that I carried at a wedding that I was in. So over here we have Nevada, Washington, Colorado, California, and this is kind of overview. This is where my book of the month collection is. I'm reading some of those. I pulled them out. I need to put them back. But my book of the month collection is down there, and this is kind of just some overflow mugs. And if you didn't know, for 2 years I did have a travel-based job. I traveled an average of 3 days out of the week, but sometimes it was 4, sometimes it was 5, sometimes it was 6. It really just depended on the week. And so whenever I went to a new place, I would get one of these mugs at Starbucks. So I don't have every single mug from every single state I've ever been to. These are just the ones that either were memorable, or I really liked the mug, or were like a bucket list. Like going to Vegas was like a bucket list thing, and Colorado I love. It feels like home to me. So yeah, I don't own every state for every place I've ever been, but I do have a lot of them. All right, so here we have the bookshelf, my main bookshelf, and these ones, just like the ones that you just saw over on the other side of my house. Here's the Pike Place from in Seattle. Pike Place is the original for Starbucks. This is the Been There series. This is the new series, and I actually think I like it better. But then I also have these mugs, and these are from the You Are Here series. So I have these as well. So there we have Atlanta, North Carolina, we have Maryland and Virginia up there, and then Phoenix over here. I think I forgot to include these 3, Tennessee, Texas, and Alabama. To talk about my final thoughts of Mad Honey so that I can get this video edited and up for you guys. So I finished this and I wanted to sit on my thoughts for a minute. So I enjoyed this book. Do I think that it's going to be an all-time Jodi Picoult favorite? No. Do I think that it is worth reading? Yes. If you have not read Jodi Picoult before, I would not recommend picking this up as your first, only because it is co-written with Jenny Boylan, and that does change the writing style a little bit. So I love Jodi Picoult's writing style, and I definitely could sense the differences with the influence of Jenny Boylan. So I do feel like having it co-authored took away from some of the things that I typically love about Jodi. But if you are an avid Jodi lover, I do think you would enjoy this book. Some of the things I liked about this book are the fact that it kind of mentions some things from other books. Like there's mention of 19 Minutes and there's mention of The Pact throughout this book. There is a reveal at one point that definitely changes the whole course of the book and the plot line. I don't want to give too much away because I really think that you should go in not knowing it, and I like that this book wasn't advertised in any particular way, because I do feel like it might have deterred some people from reading it, and I do feel like it has really important discussion, and Jodi is really good at bringing up discussion, social issues, things like that without influencing you one way or another. She's really good at laying out the facts and laying out the social issues and saying, here's this information, do with it what you will. She doesn't lay out the information and say, you should feel this way or this way about it. I felt like I connected to the character of Olivia, but I had a hard time connecting with the character of Lily. And I think part of that has to do with the writing style and the fact that Lily's point of view is going backwards. I understand that that was a particular decision that they made. It just was hard to follow in my opinion. I liked that the information about bees was educational but not info dumpy. I never felt like it was just so much. I felt like what you learned about bees was very well interlaced into the information. And it was cool when I had the moment where I understood what Mad Honey meant and why the book was written that way. I had this like aha, like, oh, this all makes sense now. I understand why they named the book Mad Honey now. So overall, I'm giving this 3.5 stars. My Goodreads, I think, says 3. I did round it down, but this was a good book. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be an all-time favorite Jodi of mine. If you haven't read Jodi, like I said, I wouldn't recommend starting with this one, but if you haven't read Jodi before and you're interested in picking up one of her books, I do have a video ranking my top 10 Jodi books. I've read all but I believe 2 at this point. So make sure you check out Jessie's channel. Make sure you check out her reading vlog as well. Let me know if you've read Mad Honey or if you're planning on picking it up. Please hit that subscribe button. It really helps out my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.